Alrighty guys, we're back for some Boros Angels, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do get that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. This is a 5 mana 4/7 Vigilance. It's a legendary creature, of course. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Very nice. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. This is just a really cool build around card, but it is 5 mana, so we only got a couple of them, and of course, you know, legendary. Now, maybe we should have 3 since there's so many ETBs packed in here, but I think 2 is actually going to be perfect. So what else do we got in here? Well, we got 4 Giadas. This is in fact an Angel Brew, so yeah, of course, we got to have the Font of Hope. This is a 2 mana 2/2 with Flying and Vigilance, and each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Now, I don't believe we get extra counters from the Elesh Norn. I don't believe that's how that would work, but it's still just a great card to have with angels regardless, right? Because you can also tap it to add a white source, spend this mana only to cast angel spells, which is very powerful. Doesn't matter that this is legendary, we want 4 of them in here. 3 Ossifications. This is a 2 mana aura. Enchant basic land you control. When Ossification enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Ossification leaves the battlefield. Hopefully we don't have any issues actually playing this and enchanting a basic land, because, you know, we're rocking some dual lands in here. It is Boros, it's not mono white, so we'll see. I think so. We have 14 total basic lands here. I think we'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll see a basic land every time we see Ossification. There's probably going to be maybe one match every now and then where we have to wait to play Ossification, but I think we'll be fine. We got 3 Spirited Companions. Just being able to play this and then draw that card right away is awesome. Pretty cool chump blocker as well. Have a single borrowed time to be able to pick up anything. Sounds good to me, right? 3 Touch the Spirit Realms. It exiles an artifact or creature, but it has that bottom channel ability that could really come in handy in a deck that actually cares about all the ETB effects, right? So for 1 and a white, you can discard Touch the Spirit Realm, exile target artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So yeah, that could be sweet in here, especially since we also have a couple Steel Seraph, which are really looking at it for its prototype cost of 1 and double white. It's a very powerful angel, and who knows, maybe we'll want to have this out as a prototype and then cheat it out as the full 5/4 flying angel with our Touch the Spirit Realms channel. You never know, it might come in handy. So we have 4 Fable of the Mirror Breakers, just a very powerful card to squeeze into a mid-range build here, and honestly the second chapter on this, being able to filter through, could really come in handy because we also have a single Invoke Justice in here as well, which returns target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'll tell you what, being able to hit any type of permanent, that could be huge in a deck like this that's running enchantment removal, but then also on the top end we have another card that Invoke Justice would be great hitting too, but getting ahead of myself here, we got to keep going over our 3 drops. We got 4 Inspiring Overseers, 3 mana, 2/1 angel with flying, and when it ETBs, you gain 1 life and draw 1 card. Beautiful. Okay, we have 4 Archangel of Wraths in here. This is a 4 mana, 3/4 flying lifelink, and it has a kicker for black and a kicker for red. So the treasure tokens on the top Goblin Shaman here on Fable could really come in handy to help us kick this out a couple times. So when it enters kicked, you do 2 damage, not you, it deals 2 damage to any target. I apologize, I'm reading this funny. And then if you kicked it twice, it deals another 2 damage to any target. So that 2 damage does have the lifelink of the Archangel, which is awesome. And then if you have like the Elesh Norn down, say turn 5 Elesh Norn, turn 6 full kicked Archangel, then you would do 2 damage to any target, then you would do it again, and then you would do it again, and then you would do it again. Because Elesh Norn would double it. So that is actually kind of ridiculous and sounds really good. We have a couple Serra Paragons in here, a lot of permanents that cost 3 or less that we would love to recast from the grave. Like as soon as they kill our Reflection of Kikijiki, being able to replay a Fable from the grave off the Serra Paragon sounds insane. Or it could be as simple as just recasting a Spirited Companion, getting that draw, having that chump blocker on the board, and now when it dies you exile it and you gain 2 life as well. Could really go a long way. It's a great angel. Okay, I already went over Invoke Justice and Elesh. On the very top end here, we have the Eternal Wanderer. This is a 6 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker. No more than 1 creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. It's actually kind of insane. The plus ability, exile up to 1 target artifact or creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step, so that works with all the ETBs. The 0 gives us a 2/2 double strike samurai, which is awesome. And the -4 here, for each player, choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control not chosen this way, so it could be a very powerful board wipe. You choose your opponent's weakest creature, and you choose your strongest creature. Yeah, the Eternal Wanderer seems like a powerful top end, and if we don't need it early on, like we're searching for more early removal like our Ossification, then discarding the Eternal Wanderer to the Fable isn't such a bad thing, because maybe we'll see our Invoke Justice as well. Also, the extra tokens on the Invoke Justice can be pretty nasty on like an Archangel of Wrath because of that lifelink. So if you're up against like mono red or like Gruul, something that's going to really struggle hitting a giant Archangel, then plugging all of your counters onto that could be absolutely disgusting. We have all 4 Shattered Sanctum in here and all 4 Sundown Pass, because we're not too worried about playing these out on turn 1 because we have no 1-drops or no 1 mana cards in general. Then all 4 Battlefield Forge, because obviously we need a way to actually play the Fable. So yeah, like I said, hopefully the 12 basic lands is going to be enough for the 3 Ossification. That's one of the reasons we're not playing Seed of the Empire, of course. Some more honorable mentions. Circle of Confinement could replace the Ossification if I was worried and I wanted to add more dual land for the Archangel kick and more dual land for the Fable potentially too. Circle of Confinement could be equally as good, but Ossification hits a lot more technically. And then originally, Tyrant of Kier Ridges was on the top end of this build, and I think I'm going to save that build for another day, right? Just regular old Boros Elesh Norn instead of like going the Angel route, you know? And have like 4 of the Tyrants on the top end and maybe 3 to 4 Elesh Norns, just so we can see turn 5 Norn into a turn 6 Tyrant and dealing that 4 damage twice. It just sounds really fun to me, but not this time around. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first match, guys. But how am I feeling about the deck? I think it's actually going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be solid. I think there's so many ways that this could just be like incredible. Like there's so many lines of play, you know? This looks like a good hand. Yeah, we keep this. Got to start with one of the tapped lands here so we can get Giada down. Oh, nice. We drew an Angel too. Wow. Uh-oh, Soldiers went first, though. Uh-oh. Giada might not last the turn, guys. As they might be able to gobble it up right away. Definitely worth the shot, though. We'll see. Did they drop the 3rd mana? They got the 3rd mana. They do have the Brutal Cathar, unfortunately. Now we can get it back. So we have touched the Spirit Realm, we could take the Cathar. Is it worth getting back, or do we just play the Steel Seraph? Because, like, Steel Seraph is still a 3/3 that blocks really well. They buffed this board state though, and we could be in trouble. Honestly, anything they do to this board state, we could be in some serious trouble. I'm going to get the Giada back. Here's why. I want to be able to get a counter onto the Steel Seraph, because a 4-4 blocks a lot better than a 3-3. And maybe, like, if they play second Brutal Cathar, it's not too bad for us. Going down to 10 here. They have 4 mana. Eee. Oh, Sky Strike Officer. Oh, Ossification. Wow. These recruitment officers are really beating us down right now, though. If we tap... Okay. If we go Ossification, target planes, pick up Sky Strike Officer, swing with Giada, right? Because it has Vigilance, so we target planes. Oh. They do have this 1 mana open, which is a little concerning. I think we'll be alright. Swing with Giada. Play the Steel Seraph. That's a 4-4. It blocks beautifully, man. And again, I don't know if second Cathar would be that bad. Okay, I mean, they got the second Cathar. Is it that bad? They swing for 4, down to 6. They have 1 card remaining in hand and 1 mana away from buffing their board state with the beach head here. Man, Overseer's a terrific draw. I'm afraid to tap Giada, though. I'd rather see what we see here. Oh, no. I should tap Giada. We could find another Ossification. And then we could pick up Cathar. It's a tough decision, guys. But we could draw something great here. We are going back up to 7. Nice, nice. It worked out nicely. And a plains. I mean, I'll play it now. No reason not to, especially if we see another land next turn. More land on the board is great for us. Got chump blockers now. We get to clean up these officers. They can't swing with Cathar. They do not have enough mana. Oh, we're definitely blocking. Regardless, I don't care what's in their hand. We definitely block here. Invoke Justice. Oh, switches to nighttime. So the transform ability on the Brutal Cathar gets around the Elesh Norn, but Elesh Norn blocks really, really well. I don't mind the Invoke Justice, grab the Overseer, gain some, but I mean... Game number 1, get Elesh Norn on the board. Sounds good to me. They found a Valiant Veteran off the recruitment officers, by the way, so we gotta be careful, man. Beachhead comes out tapped. That's good news. They really want it to switch to daytime, so we do have to be careful there. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I'm still looking at that Invoke Justice, like, is it worth it now? Especially since we'll draw... I think we skip it for now, draw 2 on Companion. 2 mana, draw 2, sounds good to me. Really? GG opponent. Yeah, there probably wasn't going to be a lot of great ways for them to break through unless they found like a lot more ways to clean stuff up with their Cathars. Nice. I'm satisfied. That's a great one, guys. Taking down soldiers literally always feels good. Well, there was this one time where the soldiers were drawing really poorly and I kind of sort of felt bad because you never see it. Like, usually you're like, yeah, and then they have their Brutal Cathar on turn 3 and then this and then that, right? I guess in that match, the opponent probably could have seen more, right? Like, if they would have seen their board buff earlier, it looked like they got their Valiant Veteran pretty late there, but We go first. It's a relatively slow hand, but I don't think this is a mulligan. We have no issues just dropping that Sundown Pass. Okie dokies. A lot of 3-drops. A lot of 3-drops in general in the deck, so... they're probably passing. Oh yeah, they are. What do we want them to counter? Overseer? Overseer. I'd rather the Fable hit the board. I'd rather the Fable hit the board early. Oh, nice. They actually let us have the Overseer, which is good news. It's not like it's necessarily a threatening presence by any means, but... you know, replaces itself in our hands, so... ah, that explains it a little bit. 1 mana open. This could be a Spell Pierce. So I will play around a Spell Pierce since I'm seeing it like a lot more. And we'll go Archangel. Actually, yeah, never mind. I'll go Fable. Nice, it lands. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff, guys. If we really wanted to play around the Spell Pierce, then we should have played Steel Seraph before swinging, and then given this lifelink or something. Not like lifelink necessarily matters when you're up against control, but it's great to have the Fable down. I say we ditch the mountain. It's fine, yeah. And then Touch the Spirit Realm could be pretty good against this deck, but it probably has more Planeswalkers than anything. I'm gonna ditch both lands. I think that's completely fine to ditch both of the lands there. We start with a swing. Might be able to double down on the Archangel. I think we start with the swing regardless. Getting to 6 mana is pretty great, and we can actually just double block. Just go Fable and Overseer again. Honestly, it might be better than kicking the Archangel. Start with Fable. And we actually have to start doing a little bit more damage because we should be afraid. Alright, Overseer. Could be a... nope, it lands. Nice. Yeah, we should be afraid of a Farewell in a couple turns, like, for sure. Especially if they still have mana to play here. Oh, wow. Could be a Wandering Emperor then. Don't mind keeping the 6th mana this time. Wandering Emperor is a little bit of a problem. I'm gonna ditch Touch the Spirit Realm and the 3rd Fable. Let's see what we see. I don't know what I'm looking for necessarily. I don't know. You know? Just playing this out and giving something vigilant sounds pretty good. I'm gonna attempt Steel Seraph at max. That's a 5/4 flying. If they counter it, then they don't have mana open for Wandering Emperor. Okay, what do we want to give vigilance to? The Goblin Shaman? So they pick up an Overseer instead? Or now they could just make the 2/2. That is not a Wandering Emperor, guys. Oh! Mind's Place Apparatus, which means now if they drop a 5th mana, they would have enough for a Farewell. Oh, you did the 3rd pack. Okay, yeah, haven't seen this deck yet. The Mind's Place Apparatus. Of course, we've seen Union of the Third Path decks in the past, but not with the Mind's Place Apparatus. That's pretty cool. Overseer number 3. I mean, Archangel going full blast on these humans. Could just go to phase 2 though. Copy. Okay, you. We have 2 mana open. I guess we should take out the humans so we can swing on the ground more successfully. No, it's fine. All to face. All to face. Because we're about to copy the Seraph for maximum damage in the sky. Give you flying. Give you... Too bad we can't give haste. Oh, that would be, never mind. I take that back. That would be gross. Go Vigilant so they can't just like go Emperor next turn. And take out our beefy Steel Seraph. At any point, the opponent can have the farewell. So going all in... Actually, I'm going to save the Spirited Companion in hand. We do have to play around the farewell. A little bit at least, right? Going all in, getting them down to 5 is great. Literally the union of the third path is what kept them in this for now. That was a lot of damage, guys. So Mind Splice proliferates. This has 3. They could go, wow, they could go union of the third path. Like, yeah, they could do that again. And Farewell can still hit this board because everything costs 3 less, guys. Oh my goodness. So I originally played the Archangel before combat because I thought I was cleaning up the humans, by the way. Usually you want to hold back until after the fact, just in case, but also depends if you're trying to get your opponent... Well, it depends if it affects combat in general. Which that technically didn't. Yep, farewell. Okay. We gotta like, I don't know. I don't know now, guys. We gotta go, but I don't know how to go. More land's bad. Ossification. Creature or planeswalker. It actually doesn't hit the apparatus, which would have been huge for us. I'm trying to think if there's going to be a way through, because 3 damage on the board is not enough to deal with the amount that they can continue to gain off of Union. They still have 2 Unions in the deck. Probably 2 Sunset Revelries too, right? To continue to gain them a lot. Oh no, back up to 22, guys. Oh no. What's their win condition? What is their win condition? I don't see one yet. Revelry back up to 25. Ossification hits a 1/1. We might save this for a Planeswalker. Giada is a great draw. That is a really good draw, but we need to like continue to draw. They trade with one of these for sure. Does that stop us from swinging with Companion though? I don't think so. Not when it could be. They probably have 3 to 4 farewells in a deck like this. We save Ossification for now. Yeah, Giada was like I mean, there's a lot of better stuff we could draw, but it's better than seeing like a land for sure. And now any angel we draw becomes a lot more deadly. Sunset Revelry, that's all of them. They only have 1 more union of the third path. They're back up to 27. Silver Scrutiny on their turn because Mind Splice Apparatus makes it so cheap. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. I mean, it's control, so it's a pain in the butt, but like, we have to admit when it's cool, guys. We have to admit it. Not a lot of great ways for this deck to deal with the apparatus at this stage. Just the, yeah, like Ossification doesn't deal with it. I guess we swing. We still have to worry about Wandering Emperor taking out our Overseer. But we hold the Ossification and we wait, huh? Is this the type of deck that actually just doesn't run a way to win? With the Proliferate, you'd think they were going, well, 7 on the Mind Splice apparatus. What? Oh, White Sun's Twilight. Right? I bet that's what it is. I bet that's their win condition. They just do X's a lot. Well, how much would they have here? They'd have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, I lost count because they tapped the island. I don't know why my brain just lost count. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 14, so X would be 12. Well, now X would be 11 for a White Sun's Twilight since they used their island over here, but that's still like enough to do it because they all have poison, right? There it is. There it is. Oh, they only get 8 because they kept some open. Okay, well, we'll clean some of these up. That way we have like an extra turn. We're just a big old pain in the butt for the opponent then too. They have to swing in twice now. Actually surprised they haven't played any counter spells, huh? Pretty cool deck, opponent. Pretty cool one. I haven't seen this version of the White Sun's Twilight. I've seen a few different versions though. Touch the Spirit Realm. Yeah, GG, opponent. Good game. I'll let them swing in, and I'll use my Touch the Spirit Realm just for fun. Just for fun. And we still die from the poison. I'm trying to think if we played around the Farewell more, I don't think we were winning that. Unless there was a better way to actually get that 5 damage throughout the rest of the match, right? I don't really know, honestly. I have to go back and watch the beginning of that one, see if there was any better decisions to make. At some point, I hope, in this meta, I hope I'll be able to actually recognize the decks early on. In yesterday's video, I was like, oh yeah, this one, like, we're up against more Selesnya Toxic here, and then it ended up being just Naya aggro, which was super cool from the opponent, but it's kind of like, that's how it's been, man. It's been super weird. Okay, speaking of super weird, I think we actually keep this one. The opponent's going first, which is scary, but the draw power on these creatures, they chump well. It looks like it's mono white mid-range, but it's definitely not. We'll see, we'll see. Hey, speaking of Selesnya Toxic, oh, Thalia drops. Fountain. Alright, we'll keep that a secret for now. Luckily, Thalia isn't too much of a pain for this current hand. And turn 5 Archangel. Takes care of Thalia too. Humans, let's go! Dude, what is going on? Alright. Video number 14. I don't know how many videos, but video number 14. Is this a healthier meta? Is that what we're seeing right now? Is that why I literally never know what I'm up against? Like, for real. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how many videos in a row I've actually said that, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Ossification, honestly, we should probably clean up the Peacekeeper, right? It hits harder than Thalia. Everything else in our hand is actually... Yeah, we clean up Peacekeeper, since like everything else in our hand is a creature anyways. We'll keep this as a chump blocker in case this gets a lot more dangerous. Like, oh, it's gonna be Naya humans too. Yeah, this could be a Hallandau. We'll chump now. We'll chump. take 2 less this time, get something into the grave. I think that's fine. Oh. Now they're gonna, I mean, probably hit the Overseer again. It's just like a plain old Archangel hitting the board. Sure, it blocks great, but oh, no, that's the one they go for, actually. Well, Fable's good. Fable for 4 mana is probably better than Overseer for 3 mana. Because we can filter out some of these, at least one of these planes, maybe filter out a companion, try to see more of our top end. Instead of having to pay 2 mana to get companion on the board, then draw. Also, Fable could help us ramp too if we take some damage here. So, ramping into Archangel. I'd love to get that Peacekeeper off the board though, try to clean this up a little bit. Especially that Thalia. Let's take 5. Man, this has Vigilance too. Wow, that's scary business, man. Look at humans go. Look at them go, guys. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? We have 4 mana on the board. We'll keep the Sundown Pass. We're about to have 5 mana. I'm gonna ditch the planes. Just in case we have to play Companion, we might have to chump a lot here. Let's see what we see. I'll touch the Spirit Realm. It's like a ton of stuff to hit. But it would be the Peacekeeper to make the Archangel cost less, right? When it is put into the graveyard, okay. So we could ramp with this turn. Draw, that gives us 3 mana. 2 mana. So we'll pick up the Peacekeeper and save the 2/2 as a blocker. As much as I would love to swing in with this, I think we're going to have to chump the Adeline. And then hope that our Archangel can... Well, we don't have a black source on the board, guys. Archangel won't be able to hit twice here. If we swing, keep the treasure, then they're hitting us for a lot next turn. If we swing, spend the treasure, go companion, we get a draw, and then we can chump with companion. However, they probably just block the 2/2 then. But then companion's on the board and we get deeper through the deck. That's actually the play, isn't it? Because they actually might take the 2 as well since we have the Sundown Pass available. I think that's actually the play. Oh wow, they're not afraid of burn. That would actually be terrific if we had some burn to remove the Adeline, but nope, it's just a companion. At least it's a chump blocker for that Adeline though. Digging deeper into the deck, looking for a black source. Giada's pretty good. Because if they don't have removal for the Archangel, then the lifelink on the Archangel. Oh, wow, great top deck opponent. Well, actually, that... we don't know what their top deck was. They might have been holding that. Oh my goodness. We need a board wipe, but we just don't have one. The only thing we have is the Eternal Wanderer, which would be an insane top deck. I guess they'd be able to use this ability too to exile this, and then whenever Adeline's put into the grave. We're in trouble, guys, like for real. The Sigarda coming down is just terrible for us. So if we go Giada, now we have the 4 for the Archangel, and this would come in with a counter. However, we would be forced to use the lifelink, and this is like a Brutal Cathar style deck, so if they Brutal Cathar the Archangel, then we're just dead. I'd love to clean up some of that board, but I think we're forced to go Archangel for the sake of the lifelink. And I would love to get the Overseers on the boards too, but they hit us so hard last turn. So we can block Champion of Light in the air. We're going to be forced to chump the Adeline. We'd have 5, 6, 7 going through. We'd go back up to 8 from the lifelink. I guess best bet would be to chump with the Giada as well. Yeah, let's see what they have in hand first, I guess, because, yeah, they could just Brule Cathar the Archangel and that's game. Humans looking super spicy over there. That looks awesome. They go for the swing. The Coven activates here. Adeline. Okay, so here's what we do. Block in the air, right? Block on the ground. Then we have... Oh. I must have, the first time I counted, I must have counted Giada blocking the 4/4 right away, because now the 7's going through. We're going back up to 8. Comes down, what do they got in their hand? Oh, Peacekeeper's what they found off the Coven, which means Peacekeeper's gonna take Overseer out of the equation, and that's the only card we have in hand right now. They're gonna make it 5 mana. Oh, we are super dead. Like, the best thing we could do is see the Eternal Wanderer off the top. Yep, Peacekeeper heats Overseer. What else could we see? If we could give the Archangel Vigilance, we could swing. Oh, Serra Paragon. It's actually a pretty good draw, guys. Really is. Yeah, Overseer not being able to double down on these is pretty bad. I think that's game. We gave it our all for sure. That was an uphill battle. Let's bring back the Giada, right? Well, either way, we're going to be forced to block. So digging deeper with the Spirited Companion seems a little better here. It will gain 2 when it dies, too. We gotta remember, we're gaining 4 from the Archangel, going up to 5. But they're definitely wide enough. Wow, Ossification! Aw, man. Aw, man. Well, let's see what they end up doing. So, because how this ends up working out, right? If they full swing... Oh, Hallandale has to be the nail in the coffin, though. Just buff the Peacekeeper, probably? Oh, Thalia would be a great one to buff. They go for the Peacekeeper, though. They don't full swing. Okay, here it comes, here it comes. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We might still be alive here. Block the Adeline, get that out of here. We got a chump Peacekeeper. Block this, we go up to 5. Adeline dies. Oh man, is that the best way to do this? If we lose the Archangel? Hallandale gives anything else in their hand haste. Gaining 2 off the Companion. We just chump, keep the Archangel. I'm sorry, opponent. If we don't have the Serra Paragon, it's not the worst thing in the world. So if we chump, take 5, 6, we're gonna gain 2. Is that right? Is that right? You know what? If it's not right, that's fine. We gained the 2 from the Companion. Wait, we do gain the 2 from the Companion before we die, right? Because we're going back up to -1. Oh no, we don't! We don't! Oh no! Oh no! That was leaning towards the opponent anyways, guys. That was an uphill battle the whole time. That's a little funny though. Yeah, there's some weird thing, like there's a reason why lifelink happens right away, but then the death trigger doesn't happen. So we did count it right. That was good news. We were gonna go back up to 1. if it actually would have counted the 2. We're about 40 minutes in here. We're going to try one more, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, if it ends up being too long of a match, we'll just give it to the opponent. Why not? It doesn't matter, you know? That is, of course, if it's leaning towards the opponent, too. Yeah, that I guess we could have found a way through. Like, I could have blocked differently. We could have lost the Archangel and kept the Serra Paragon alive. But, I don't know, man. I don't think we were getting out of that. Unless the next card was the Eternal Wanderer. Opponent goes first. Very slow hand. Lot of mana. Alright, we'll try it. It's fine. More mana is okay. At least we have Fable to help us filter through. And the deck does like to have a ton of mana available, so... They got their third. It's going to be a Faithbound Judge. Is this going to be a Proliferate deck with Faithbound Judge? We might want to pick that up, honestly. I'll wait, though. Let's get a creature onto the board. Steel Seraph. Nice. Good draw. Now we're talking, guys. If this might be a Proliferate deck with the Faithbound Judge, which sounds awesome. Okay, Mountain can come down successfully. This blocks very well. Hey, it might be Faithbound Judge's time to shine. Last couple times we played with it, it's actually kind of ridiculous. See if this lands. We played it in a Defender build and it was just an absolute MVP boss monster. Because it blocks everything, so any aggro deck you go up against, it's like an absolute pain for them. But then also, it wraps up the game for you too, because after you're done blocking all of your opponent's aggro, it has Vigilance, so you're just cleaning things up the whole time. We should use this Ossification, I would say. 3 mana open, they could go... Okay, I was gonna say Syncopate for 4, but like that's fine. They must be... I'll do this before combat because it could be a Wandering Emperor, and giving Vigilance to the Overseer sounds good. Could just be a normal counterspell now too, though. I think removing the Faithbound Judge was better than the Seraph. They were considering that Syncopate too, weren't they? Alright, we'll get that swing. Is it gonna be more? Is it gonna be a seat? They have 3 blades open. It could be a seat. They might as well. Oh, March. Oh! Nice! Opponent. Oh, wow. What a great way to clean things up here. March of the Otherworldly Light. Exile target artifact, creature, enchantment, mana value X or less. They did X's too. Got rid of the Ossification. Faithbound Judge bounces back. Wow, what a turn, huh? They still have 2 cards in hand. That exiles it too, so we can't just bring it back with the Serra Paragon. Alright, let's double down on Archangel and see if they counter us with a 3rd Syncopate. You know, it would definitely be one of those instances of if they have it, they have it. And if we play around it, then our turn looks a lot weaker. Oh, Devious Cover Up. They grab 2 Syncopates, shuffle it back in. Dude, these decks have been scary, man. The opponents have really been bringing different things to the table. I shouldn't be too afraid of this right now. Let's attempt the Serra Paragon. And nice. Overseer comes back, gets us a draw. Looks like they ran out of counterspells. Invoke Justice is pretty good. Nothing to hit with it, but like it's a good draw. Swing with the Judge. No blocks. Honestly, I guess this is... Oh, wow. Depopulate, we're back up to 20. Is Invoke Justice worth it on the Serra Paragon? They still have 2 mana open too, so could be a negate. What the heck? Let's do it. Awkward match. I have no clue what the opponent's playing still. It's just like blue-white control, rockin' Faithbound Judge. I'm still leaning towards Faithbound Judge Proliferate, but we haven't seen any instance of Proliferate yet, so... I'm telling you guys, man, especially if... Oh, another Depopulate. Alright. We lose the counters, which is definitely a pain in the butt, but... Wow, do they actually have something else here in hand? It's hard to do anything about channel abilities, but if they found, like, a spot removal for the Serra Paragon... Okay. Nice. Beautiful. Nice, we're gonna keep the planes in hand to ditch to the Fable's second ability here too. I am a little concerned to swing with the Serra Paragon, because on their turn they could of course drop a Wandering Emperor and immediately exile. But I think if we hold back too much, we risk never closing out the game. They do have a lot of mana for this Sinner's Judgment too, which I should be concerned about, I suppose. Ditch those. Touch the Spirit Realm. And Inspiring Overseer. We're going to do this before combat, guys. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a judgment counter on Sinner's Judgment. Then, if there are 3 or more... Okay, I see. Yeah, more mana off the top is terrible. Bring a Battlefield Forge from the grave, I suppose. I'll wait till main phase 2. Actually, I should have done it because, yeah, it still could be a Wandering Emperor. Luckily, it was not. Okay, well, the opponent could easily have, like, a Farewell in this deck, too. They cast the Sinner's Judgment. Is it an artifact? It is, in fact, an enchantment, so... Do we want to use probably on the Overseer and see if we can get an extra draw here? Oh! I did it too late. I made an oopsie-daisies. I did it during the end step, guys. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I was thinking like, yeah, we'll do this. We'll draw an extra card. No, that... Oh, Fable. Yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, that was particularly bad, guys. I apologize for that. Thinking, yeah, we'll get it back real quick. Oh! It's a Union of the Third Path deck. Wow, Teferi. Wow. What on earth? So, Sinner's Judgment here at the beginning of your upkeep. I'm double checking here. 3 or more judgment counters. Enchanted player loses the game. Oh, more mana. Alright, we better draw. We better draw, guys. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 9 damage. We just swing it face. I guess we could have just swung it face to begin with the reflection. But then I saw it. Wow, that was a lot of mana. Look at that. Wow, we filtered through the deck too. Look at how much mana we drew that game. We had 4 in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the field. That's something else, man. Pretty interesting deck from the opponent. I guess we might be seeing more blue-white Union of the Third Path decks. Nice. It's good to get a victory. I like it. I think the deck is actually pretty solid overall. For a little while now, I've been getting weird draws, weird awkwardness, and I had to question for a little while if it was just me putting the decks together and like just weird. And I think it's just like weird right now. I don't think it's the game. I don't think it's necessarily how I'm putting the decks together. I think it's just like one of those moments. It's just a coincidence. We're seeing like weird things. Other than that, weird meta too, right? It's always easier to play when you know what deck you're going up against. That being said, it can get pretty boring after a little while if you're always going up against the same deck over and over and over again. So even though it's predictable and you might be able to win more, it's definitely a lot more fun seeing all this variety going on in the meta, huh? The Eternal Wanderer would have been sweet in a lot of those games, so going up to 2 of these could be fine. I think I like the 2 Steel Seraph. I wouldn't necessarily go up any of those unless you're like in love with this card, then you could drop the Overseers, but the enter the battlefield effect on Overseer works a lot better with the Elesh Norn, of course, and works a lot better when you're copying it with Reflection, as we saw. Careful with the Touch of the Spirit Realm, guys. It specifically says return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So if the end step already begun, well, you're not getting it back. So that could have been really, really bad. Luckily, I didn't get punished for that. I think the one of Invoke Justice is 100% A-okay in a deck like this. Just like, you know, like I said, the opponents remove everything anyways. You might as well have a little backup. If you can run it, you can run it, you know? Elesh Norn was cool. Archangel was really good. I love it. Spirit of Companion was good. Ossification, we didn't have any issues. The 14 basic land totally worked, and it's a very powerful piece of removal, isn't it? Yeah, I loved the angel theme going on in here too. Just seemed pretty solid, pretty decent. I like it. More testing required to see if it could actually do a thing and maybe potentially rank up too. That being said, guys, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.